welcome to In the Studio with Victoria. Today we're going to be making an infinity necklace using Obsidian Beads, Miyuki Delica seed beads from Japan, and silk cord. Now, an infinity necklace is essentially this, a very, very long necklace that just goes on for up to about 2 meters long. And sometimes I will just string them using the Miyuki beads, but in this case, I'm going to be using some gemstones in between. So it looks a little bit like this, okay? And I will show you the materials that we'll be using and we'll get started in a minute. See you? So, as you can see from this board, we have some obsidian here, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Obsidian is essentially volcanic glass. So it doesn't exist until a volcano erupts and then it forms. So it looks dark, but it's actually quite lovely. And you can see some hints of other colors. It comes in lots of other colors. So I'm just showing you a series of lovely black stones today. In addition to, I'm going to be using the obsidian. This is also obsidian in another smaller shape. Also lovely. So we're going to be using these. But also, just because I just found them absolutely gorgeous, I'll throw them in there. This is tourmaline. Now, this is black tourmaline. Some of it is black tourmaline, but there's a couple pieces in here that are also like dark green, and you don't see it until the light reflects through it. So when I held these up to the light earlier today, I saw that a couple pieces were actually a darkish brown or a dark green or a light brown. The others were black. So it's a lovely mixture of different colors of tourmaline. Irregular shape. These are generally the shape of the stone that have just basically been drilled through, which are just quite lovely. I absolutely like these. So these are tourmaline, one of my favorite stones. And these are particularly special. These are called jet. Now, jet is a very early form, or I guess lower form of coal, also called lignite. So this is what coal is. Coal is prehistoric plants before bacteria developed to help with the decay of them. When the trees would just basically just fall over, they would just basically decay. They would just basically fossilize and they wouldn't decay. So they basically formed coal. So this is actually an old prehistoric plant life that became a fossilized piece of a mineral. So yeah. So we're going to get started with the spinning. Let me clean up this spill of the Miyuki beads that have gone all over the place. Silly things. Anyway, they're so tiny. So the other things that we're going to be using today are Miyuki beads. Now, Miyuki beads are from Japan. I'm using Delica. Delica beads are cylindrical shaped beads that are about as you can see, they're super, super tiny. They're literally 1 millimeter in shape. Look at that. Look how small they are. I don't know if the camera can focus in on that, but they're so tiny. So this is a Delica bead, and I'm going to be using those to create our infinity necklace. So put those over there. And I'm also going to be using Griffin silk thread. Now, what's really lovely about this thread is that it comes on rolls in 2 meter lengths. I've already got this one already unraveled off of the the card. And let me find the end of it. So, right, so now I've got because it's silk, unlike say a nylon or a polyester, you can actually cauterize that by using a flame. With the silk, we do what is called like a surgeon's knot or a double knot. So we're going to knot the end of this to kind of make like a tiny little flourish so that it doesn't unravel. So we're going to go 1, and I'll do the second time, 2. And what you get is this lovely, 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 lovely figure 8 as you pull. And it forms this lovely little flourish right at the end. It kind of looks like that. Nice and large. I hope you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to get the rest of the tools and we get started, and I'll start spinning up my infinity necklace using obsidian. Now, it took me many years before I realized that in order to get these super tiny little beads onto the string, I needed to use a bead spinner. I'd had that Miyuki beads for so many years and I'd never really done anything with them because I was like I'm not going to sit here and string all those bloody beads onto a string one at a time. They're tiny. I might be here for the rest of my lifetime. So what I decided to do was just not really bother with them until I discovered that you spun them on using this lovely little device, which you spin counterclockwise. And oh my saints, I was off in a flash. I have somehow managed to knot up this silk. Hey, it happens to the best of us. And I've got it. So what I like to do is I just like to have the silk here. So before we get started, I'm going to prepare this. I will be using some recycled bits of something else I made from another necklace. I'm going to be doing the gold with the red and the black this time. So I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to put this on. But before I do that, yes, I'm going to pop that on. So we string this on down to our knot. Let it go down, and now I'm going to put another knot here, but a single one, not a double one this time. Just the double one is at the end. Let's put a single one. I arbitrarily measure out a piece. I would say about 5, 6 centimeters, 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters, just to have like a long little bit in between it, because this is what you're going to adjust the necklace with if you want to adjust the size. It doesn't need to be too short nor too long. And now we can start spinning the beads on. So what we do is we form the needle into a bit of a hook, like a shepherd's hook. I tend to use my finger, straightening out any kinks, kind of get it a little bit like that. Like this. Can you see? It's kind of hard. Yeah, a little bit like a shepherd's hook. Okay. Now I'm going to hook it into the side here. You can see that. And then I start spinning counterclockwise. And an amazing thing starts to happen. Ta-da! It just shoots all those beads onto the silk. Woo! Yeah, get on there. Sometimes the beads can be a bit difficult to get onto the wire. So, there we go. Now, this is why I use a number 8 Griffin cord as opposed to a number 10. Number 10 is a little bit too thick. The number 8 is just the right thickness. And as you can see, I've got my first little set of beads on there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this going, and then I will be back. Oh dear. Voila. Starting to come along nicely. I think I have too many colors on in this. Looking good. I like that. Okay, so as you can see, it's going along nicely. It's progressing nicely. So let's see. We are at this point here. Look at that. So I think I'm going to, for design's sake, I think I'm going to let this come down a little bit to the middle. So the heavy part is here, and then I will continue to, I will do about that much more and then it'll all be done. So see you soon. Okay, I have finally reached the part where I'm about to finish this now. So this is where we are. Okay, so I've decided I like it to be this length. Lovely. And now I'm going to finish it off with putting a little knot. So we're going to put one tiny little knot here, right next to that bead. And I am going to use my finger right there and put it through the loop and pull and go, and voila, get that down there. Lovely. Nice. Excellent. So it's nice and tight, and that holds all of those beads nicely into there. So now we line it up with the other one. So, oops, that's out of camera range. So what you've got is this. So this is your necklace. It's slightly asymmetrical, but it hangs very nicely. So now what I'm going to do is this bead here, I'm going to take the silk, the thread, and run it through this bead here, which is going to be our closing bead. So we're going to have a sliding closure. Come on, don't fail me now. You've got this. I've got this. Excellent. Just pop that right in, pull it through. Okay, it seemed like a good idea. There we are. It's nice and tight, which is what you want. You don't want it to be too loose, but you don't want it to be too tight either. So we line these two up here, so it's slightly even. Wonderful. And I know exactly where to make one knot. And I go around 1, 2, and voila, slide it. There we go. Have a nice, sort of in the same spot, close enough. Can't always get everything even. Brilliant. And there we go. So now we just get that to the end, and we just snip it right there. There you are. And now what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to just untangle the silk and create like a little tassel, self-made tassel. Just basically unravel it a bit because it's twisted on itself. And I just tend to do it like that, and it untwists. And then what I will do is, I don't have it here, but I have a flat iron for my hair to get it nice and straight. I will use that to smooth out the ruffles, the indents. I would usually basically use it to smooth out the silk and make it. Oh, there you go. That unravels nicely to get it all nice and smooth, because it is natural and you can heat it and iron it out. And just literally I run the flat iron against that. It goes nice and straight, so you have a lovely instantaneous little tassel. So there you have your infinity necklace using the spinning machine, Miyuki Delica beads, and Obsidian gemstones. So now I'm going to put some photos of this up with me wearing my beautiful necklace. And there you have it. 1 second, let me just pop that over my neck. And you can see, there it is. That's what it looks like. Get my hair out the way. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Nice and even. Where's the other one? There you go. And you can even adjust it like that so that you can see. Voila. Infinity necklace. You can also, if you like, you can double it up and wear it with a couple of other infinity necklaces. So give me 1 second. Here are some other beauties that I've made. So we're going to just grab one of these. So we're going to do, this is a jasper one. It's a little bit longer. Oops, I've done it again. I'm a master of knotting everything up. So now we've got 2 of them. So you can do 2 of them together like this. It gets longer. I will take better photos of this so that you can actually see me. In one of my community posts, you can see I have on some of the infinity necklaces. It's actually one of the first posts that I've made. I will reference it in the bottom of this video so that you can go and see exactly how I layer them. But I'm just going to put a few of them on so that you can see that's what the infinity necklaces look like with the gemstones. And that's it. I will list the step back here. I will list the list the items that I've used in the show notes. I will basically, and if you're interested in getting any of these, you can always contact me, or you can go online, and I'm sure you'll find lots of other places that sell this stuff. But the Miyuki beads are just absolutely one of my favorite. I mean, look at that. These necklaces are so long and beautiful. And that today, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this episode of In the Studio with Victoria. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash and click that subscribe button for more content like this. Thank you and have a great day.